3 debates deep, the DNC has some selecting to do. Not immediately, mind you. As far along as we are, the depressing prospect is we have at least another half a fucking year to watch these yegs promise to pinch out ever-proliferating quantities of free shit they fished from our own fucking pockets. Heaven help me, I actually agree with Jesse the Body Ventura about something. I now formally support his proposal to ban all presidential campaign activity until no sooner than 6 months before the fucking election. Hell, at least relegate it to only the year of, for fuck's sake. Man was not made to look at Bernie Sanders' cotton candy machine comb over for more than a month or two. Twink of the children, Glanderson Pooper. We weren't exactly off to a roaring start either, when in the first fucking debate, CNN asked and elicited a terminally telling response to this.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants. Okay, let me start with you, Mayor Buttigieg. Why? Mayor Buttigieg, why?
Not the rosiest augury for a party that desperately needs at least a quasi-moderate to emerge from the Marxist morass. On paper, Biden fit the bill, if he could remember his own name for 5 fucking minutes, but to start with, Biden raised his hand right along with everyone else there, and believe me, bitches, that clip is gonna get worn the fuck out in some Trump ads come campaign season should Biden and his aneurysm get the inevitable nod here.
No matter where they come from, no matter what their status, go uncovered. You can't do that. It's just going to be taken care of, period. You have to.
And what his own short-term memory couldn't accomplish, Trump's Ukrainian H-bomb fucking did.
Trump, who is currently under fire for encouraging a foreign leader to investigate Biden's family dealings, used the meme replacing Chad Kroeger's photograph from the video with a picture of Biden and his son Hunter posing with a Ukrainian gas company board member. Twitter eventually removed the video after a copyright claim.
Christ, I'm gonna miss this man when his 5th term is over. And for the last time, Biden's not a creeper for sniffing little girls' heads. Look at his plugs. He's just trying to remember what natural hair smells like. Chief Spitting Bull is looking like a close second as Biden began collecting gaffes over the last 2 months. Only problem? Between the firearms bans, rampant interruptions, and the socialized medicine, she's Hillary without the homicide. And we saw how that movie ended last time. Kamala Harris is all but out of the race. They're just waiting for her to put the box wine down long enough to tell her. I mean, you know boomers be getting desperate when they're slam dancing to seem halfway human. You know, Elizabeth Warren tried that, but it just kept raining. And as for Bernie, sadly for the soy latte socialists among us, it appears he's been feeling the heartburn.
Bernie Sanders, his presidential campaign says the senator was hospitalized after experiencing chest pains. He underwent surgery after he was found to have heart blockage. The campaign says all events have been cancelled. We wish him well, of course.
I wish Bernie a speedy recovery from the condition he would have already died from in Venezuela, but look, this wasn't the disqualifier here. Bernie had been fading for fucking weeks now. I said in 2016 he wouldn't have won, and I stand by that prediction, but I also acknowledge that if he was gonna win, his high water mark would be before he cucked out and kissed the ring for Hillary Clinton. Now, Bernie's baggage was weighing him down. It's one thing for the Marxist old man muppet to helm a domestic revolution, spitting fire and pissing vinegar before he bent over for Hillary, but now he's the half-revolutionary, the man who nuked the competition 3 years previous, only to tuck his incendiary rhetoric away in a manila envelope and retire to a shiny new lakeside mansion. And his more subdued delivery, habitual 3rd and 4th place polling, and haggard-ass appearance I kept referring to, and Bernie bros bitched and called me fucking crazy, is making that more obvious now than ever, particularly now that we now know there is an actual physical cause behind it all. And yes, for the record, bitch, that's a fuck you, I was right. And sorry, millennial memesters, not even Andrew Yang remembers Andrew Yang is in this race anymore. But what to do about Beto?
Some on this stage have suggested a voluntary buyback for guns in this country. You've gone further. You said, quote, Americans who own AR-15s and AK-47s will have to sell them to the government, all of them. You know the critics call this confiscation. Are you proposing taking away their guns, and how would this work?
I am. If it's a weapon that was designed to kill people, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to
Look, I said it already in my Beto gun-grabbing rant, but watching Beto O'Rourke, faced with evaporating poll numbers and dwindling presidential prospects, essentially sell out his entire party's faux moderate hustle, one of Obama's carefully cultivated illusions over the course of 8 years just to pop a percentage point, has been lung-collapsingly hilarious. I've seen all the people in punditry do an outer space algebra to figure his fucking angle here, but remember the principle of Occam's razor fist. The simplest, most shockingly fucking retarded answer is almost always correct. It ain't 1D chess, let alone 4, to fuck your own party with a wider electorate by pushing for wildly unpopular door-to-door seizure of fucking firearms, but whatever you say about Beta, the man can read a poll. At least the few he still fucking registers on. It wasn't so long ago Pelosi and Schumer had hailed O'Rourke as the next great white hope for the Democratic Party, and Obama paid him the highest compliment in existence by comparing him to him! He knows, having fucked the dog now in dual elections, his political stock will plummet hereafter. He knows, having foiled Feinstein's fairy tale of the firearm-toting gun control advocate, he's about 15 seconds removed from being unpersoned by Pelosi and given the John Edwards treatment. In short, after this, we will likely never hear from Tony Warhawk ever again. So fuck it, he figures. Might as well go big. Worst case scenario, I go right back where I was headed anyway, only fucking faster. And best case scenario, maybe I jump a few percentage points, stick around for a spell, and carve out a cozy, crazed Howard D. Knight niche for my unique brand of braying fucking bullshit. It's really not that complicated, folks. If there is a deeper tactic at play here, I think it's one nobody I've seen really has been talking about. Not all presidential aspirants are gunning for the highest office in the land. Some are content to use the VP position as a platform to bigger and better things. So I find it mighty convenient for Beto, who's been long rumored at the top of Biden's list of potential VP running mates, to be drawing the fire of those of us who tend to not use the Bill of Rights as a ball gag, so that as long as we're bitching about Beto, Biden skates the fuck by on his famous gun-grabbing past. Let me state this unequivocally. If nominated, Joe Biden would be far and away the most anti-firearm offering for the DNC to date.
For all those who say we shouldn't and can't ban assault weapons, for all those who say the politics is too hard, how can they say that? When you take a look at those 20 beautiful babies. For all those who say we shouldn't or couldn't ban high-capacity magazines, I just ask them one question. Think about Newtown.
The Second Amendment says that we can limit who can own a weapon. They can limit what kind of gun you can own. The only guy that's ever beaten the NRA is me. I'm the guy that led the effort to get an assault weapons ban.
He was one of the principal authors of the assault weapons ban, which is now thankfully overturned. He held congressional video game violence panels that were a smokescreen for additional gun regulations.
The president asked me, because I'd spent so much time on these issues relating particularly to guns and violence in my years in the Senate, and anything from weapons to preventative action that can be taken. The American Academy of Pediatrics, they said if you watch 3 to 6 hours, kids watching 3 to 6 hours of video games, a lot of kids do that, can lead to aggressive behavior.
And his silence on the AR buybacks issue is as tactical as it is fucking deafening. Joe Biden's every bit as bad on gun control as Beto, and then some. He's just smart enough not to say it until he's made the sale, making Beto and Butthead the ideal beard. But with Biden backsliding over the Ukraine, some are predicting Elizabeth Wampum will be picking up the bit. And in this, I'm just not so fucking sure. I step outside the political piss vat and all I see from E-Dub is all the drawbacks of Hillary and none of the name recognition. The look into this field almost makes you wish Hillary would run again. I have to believe she'd be ahead by at least 50. Or says just the body count. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed. I used to love life. Now I'm going straight. Is this the price that I must pay?
The president asked me, maybe we can have a longer and larger conscience, unlike anything that I've seen or felt. And then we're groping, and I come, and admittedly it's quick, although I was Sr. I want you to know you have not been, quote, singled out for groping, but I asked the cabinet. They don't always agree. Generally have been reluctant to engage when we first started dealing crack cocaine. All of these groups have shown up, including leaders of the Muslim community. Your colleagues in Hollywood, the Catholic Conference of Bishops, has been working and trying to devour. The Kiwanis Club, youth groups, YMCA, Fish and Wildlife, the mental health community, to the Rotary Club, and everything in between and beyond. No judgment. This kind of thing could happen again.